Well, guys, today's the day. We're reviewing this bad boy. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, so elegant. Wow. Just gorgeous. Oh yeah. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the King's Lounge. Today we are doing a crazy car review. It's a 2020 Karma Revero GT, and I got my boy here, Ashton, right here, the owner of this beautiful. Again, I consider it an exotic sports car. You know, and like a super. I consider it a supercar. You know, it has sports car. It has literally supercar specs. You know, it has 536 horsepower, rear wheel drive, and if you know a guy that knows how to tune it properly, you got an extra 70 horsepower on there. Like, come on now, who cannot beat that? For a car that's $155,000, better supercar specs, better than McLaren and Ferrari and Lamborghini. Like, come on, who can't beat that? Stock with Brembo brakes, come on. And fun fact, right there on the headlight is the only way you'll know what car it is, the Karma Revero. With projector headlights. Beautiful. So tell me, Ashton, tell me more about this beautiful beast.
So yeah, man, thank you for the wonderful introduction on the car. I'm a little bit more humble. I kind of consider it more of it's in the luxury exotic class usually. But yeah, it definitely has a lot of supercar qualities and stuff like that. I guess you could say it's an exotic that identifies as a supercar that identifies as an exotic, right? So, and I think you have to kind of look at like, well, what's an exotic, right? What makes an exotic an exotic? So, something like this, this car is they only produce 250 roughly a year. Sadly, this year will be the last year they're producing this model.
No way.
They started back in. I'll just give you a little history on the car. So they came out in 2012 under a completely different brand. It was the F word that we don't Karma owners don't like to talk about, but Fisker, the Fisker Karmas. They were like a prototype car. Hendrik Fisker was a designer. He worked for Bentley, BMW, Rolls-Royce, a lot of the really big car brands doing design. Really great designer. Unfortunately, just wasn't good with actually running a company. He went out and did a standalone on the vehicle. The standalone model is this car is what you saw the car. He called it the Karma Fisker, or the Fisker Karma. Some people call it either way. And basically, he just didn't do things right. Batteries were garbage. They would burn up, catch fire. A lot of the electrical components just weren't tweaked out. They just weren't really good cars. They were pretty, they were beautiful, but weren't good cars. So they actually got a bad rap. He ended up going bankrupt. That was actually his first. He came back later with another company you might know of called Fisker Ocean. That actually came out a couple of years ago. It was an SUV.
The SUV one, right?
Yeah, and it also did not, it was a pretty cool looking SUV, completely electric, but it also crashed and burned too as well. He went bankrupt with that.
And it was a good concept too.
It was a really good,
I've seen a couple of those on the road.
Yeah, it was a really cool car. It was a really cool car. But just like this, so basically then the car kind of shelved. It sat there. Again, that was 2012. They only produced maybe 1,000 or so of those models. And then Karma, in around 2017, a different company, a Chinese-owned company actually, decided to buy all the materials. They bought everything in the inventory. They decided to keep the Karma part, the name, and they just went with Karma Automotive. They changed it from a Karma Fisker to a Revero. They relaunched it in 18. Now, and I've had both models actually. I've had two of these. So I've had the first launch or the second gen Karma Automotive, the Karma Revero, and the 18 model. And then I've had, this is my 2020 model. I'm thinking about maybe even getting one of the last models because I really do love the car. The only differences that really changed were other than the electronics being upgraded and the electrical issues all being taken care of. Again, the car, knock on wood, great car. Great maintenance, really fun car to drive. Not a lot of issues. Other than just your normal oil changes, tire changes. But the big difference is where they took off. They used to have a solar panel roof. So the entire roof used to be solar panel. Now it's like a glass.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
What they found with that is it didn't really do a lot. It probably did about 5 kilowatts as you're driving, and it's like a day like today where it's really sunny. 5 kilowatts of power is probably just enough to kind of run like your instruments. So it wasn't really, I think what they really thought or what they wanted initially was that to really make a big impact to where you could drive with a solar panel and it would actually charge your car without having to plug it in. And it just really didn't work out that way. So Karma Automotive, their designers, when they kind of took it over and they realized, you know what, we're going to take that off. It was an 800-pound drag on the car. So
Really?
it was really adding a lot of extra weight it didn't need to add. So then these models, they did that. They added a lot of extra horsepower. It gave it a lot more of a push. Like I said, they call it this one is a Revero GT. The engine, we can take a look at the engine as well.
Yeah. Back onto the solar panels, I remember the first gen models, the Fiskars. When I seen the Fisker before for the first time, I saw that it had the solar panels. And I remember you having your first gen one. Did your first gen one have the solar panels or no?
Yes, it did. Actually, that would be considered the second gen. But yeah, it did have the solar panels.
And to see this one without the solar panels, and I didn't know that part, that the solar panels added weight to the car.
Right.
That part I did not know.
Yeah, and the grill was also different. So the new grills on the newer ones, the older ones had actually a BMW inspired grill. They had the two kind of look like a face or like a mustache. This now has basically a pod in here. It's a carbon fiber. Underneath the carbon fiber has all your computer equipment. Like it tells like a lot of like speeds, and it gives you a lot of data for the car and for the road.
Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. And what color do you call this? Like when you spec'd out the car?
Oh yeah, so this is Mar Pacifico. So if you zoom in and get really close to this in the sun, you can actually see there's gold flecks in the paint that you have to get really close. The light has to hit it. I don't know if it'll show up on probably won't show up there, but in the direct sunlight. Actually, hold on. See the gold?
Oh wow. Oh, I love those gold flakes. We all know the gold metallic flakes on any car makes the car look so much better. So much better. And stock with Brembo brakes, wow. I didn't think those rotors are crazy huge. They're honestly almost like the size of a pizza pie.
Yeah.
almost like the size of a DiGiorno pizza.
Pretty much, yeah, definitely.
Are they 6-piston?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a little more technical than what I what I get into. So,
wow. And the rim size.
22s.
Wow.
Yeah, 22s.
22s.
They're stock
on the rim
22s.
size.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they either have the black on black, or they actually have like a brushed steel.
And honestly, in this spec color, like it's so gorgeous. I love the gray with the black rims.
Yeah, and then I think me and you had talked about it before. They offer like they have a lunar eclipse package. This would be like the solar eclipse logo, but they have a lunar eclipse where this is all blacked out. And then there's a lot of things that are like everything's pretty much blacked. Anywhere there's the chrome, like kind of like it's like a chrome delete. So everything is all blacked out. And inside you'll see a few more things that are on that particular package that are blacked out as well.
And we were talking about earlier. Oh, and if anybody wants to follow my boy, right there, follow him on Instagram. Quick little shout out, And we were talking earlier about the logo.
Okay, yeah.
Saying that the logo was hand painted.
Yeah, so these are actually hand painted. There's a little story behind it. They got a designer to, and again, this was when it was taken over from Fisker. There was an original design. It was round and it had some lines in it. When they took this over, pretty much up until this past year, these kind of became super expensive and hard to, in case they need to replace them. They're all hand done. They're all handmade. They're hand painted. They're hand designed. It's a designer and artist out of Hawaii. So the artist out of Hawaii, there's no two alike. So that's kind of so if you go to the front of the car, you take a picture. You go to back of the car, you take a picture, you put it side by side, you'll see that. Or if you take these off, you'll see that they're all completely different.
So
I think
cool.
the original concept though is it's supposed to be like even though it's like the Eclipse, there's a thought process behind it of like it's everything about the Karma's design team is that they want it to be like what they consider the car as like a work of art. That's why they do a limited production. They want them to have some type of value on there as far as like, I mean, it's a car, so you're always going to have appreciation, depreciation, all that kind of thing. But they really want it to be sort of like a piece of art, right? So really cool art or like really, interesting art, really, really rare art. There's, it's not a lot of it out there, right? So when a designer has something, that's sort of what makes it special. That's kind of their plan, but their thought behind the
And for a
design.
car that they only make 250 of them, honestly, it's gorgeous. Like you can even see from here, like the hips on her is just ridiculous. When they when Shakira said hips don't lie, they really don't lie. Like what? Just the shape and the angle of this car, and it has the BMW i8 engine, right? The
Correct.
3-cylinder turbo.
Correct.
Wow. And again, for a 4-door, beautiful, luxury, exotic. Again, I consider it a supercar. Supercar enthusiasts are not going to consider it a supercar. Again, they're just haters. Who's gonna say who? I consider a Jaguar a supercar. So, and again, just the shapes and the angles. It's just wow. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Well, guys, this is the King's Lounge. We're still going to be doing more about this car. We'll see you soon. All right, man. Deuces, man. Be safe. Have a blessed one.